All right, we are live. Yeah, MLB Trade Deadline. I just recorded like 45 minutes of a podcast because I wasn't gonna go live, and then I realized I just should have went live. So the 45 minutes of MLB I just talked about will probably not get released, and I'm just gonna rediscuss it again. So yeah, this is wow, dude, the Angels just called up Jordan Adams. Hell yeah. This is like one of my favorite prospects in the Angels organization. And they just called him up. So yeah, I just talked about the trade deadline for like 45 minutes, recorded, not live at all. And I'm going to rediscuss everything I just talked about. So, but first, I mean, not a trade at all, but the Angels called up Jordan Adams, which is awesome. He's one of my favorite prospects in the organization. He's having a great season. Yeah, that's a great pickup. I really like Jordan Adams. Anyways, all right, let's talk about these trades. I'm going to basically talk about them again. First time to everyone here. The Verlander trade that happened probably like an hour ago, going back to Houston from the Mets. There's there's a lot of things here. I think the big one, well, there's a few big ones. First of all, I think the Astros are the premier team in the American League now. I think they're the best team in the AL. I think they're the most likely team outside of the outside of the Atlanta Braves to win the World Series. The addition of Verlander strengthens this rotation so much. I mean, we have a rotation of Framber Valdez, who is probably a Cy Young candidate right now, probably top 5 Cy Young candidate. Christian Javier, who I know hasn't had a tremendous season by expectation, but has still been a good pitcher. Hunter Brown, JP France have been 2 young pitchers that have stepped in and have done great. But adding Justin Verlander, he's won 2 Cy Youngs with the team, 2 World Series titles, and then now comes back to this team and is having a pretty solid season. I know he's only pitched like 16 games this season, and his ERA is around a 3.5. So he is still pitching like old Justin Verlander, now going back to a team that he's familiar with, won 2 titles with, 2 Cy Youngs with. I think is a great move for the Astros. I think it cements them as the premier team in the American League. And I know there's some teams above them. I know the Rangers are a half game better than them in the AL West. But I still think the Astros are the better team. As good as this Rangers squad is, as good as the Rangers are, with the additions of Scherzer and Montgomery, and the offense that this Texas Rangers team has, I think the experience of the Astros being the defending champions, winning 2 titles in the last since 2017, and the culture that the Astros have built, and the addition of Verlander puts them as the premier team in the AL. And Baltimore would be there, but the Orioles have yet to actually make a move. And we have been waiting for the Orioles to make a trade for a premier starting pitcher for a while. I mean, why haven't the Orioles traded for a starting pitcher? They've traded for Shintaro Fujinami, and that is it. Shintaro Fujinami from the A's, they traded for him like a month ago or like 2-3 weeks ago. When are they going to make a move for Eduardo Rodriguez, Dylan Cease, Jack Flaherty? And they have the most top 100 prospects in the game, and they have the best farm system in baseball, and they have an extremely deep minor league system. And just when is this team? And we're just going to start sharing the screen here. When are they going to make a trade for a starting pitcher? Have so many prospects in their minor league system: Holiday, Kowser, Westberg, Kershad, Ortiz. This Norby guy right here, this Mayo guy is raking in AAA, and he's lock jammed right now. How is he going to play at the major league level when you have Gunnar Henderson, You called up Westberg. He's already at the MLB level. Kowser's at the MLB level. I mean, this guy's lock jammed. Trade him for Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease is a controllable starter. I think he has like multiple years left of control. DL Hall, you just drafted him. He's in rookie ball. Look, this is a very, very, very deep minor league system. You have this catching prospect who's locked by Adley Rushman right now. He's raking in low A or high A right now. So when are they going to go out here? When are they going to make a move for a starter? When are they going to go and get a Dylan Cease, get a Jack Flaherty, get an Eduardo Rodriguez? This is a team, the Orioles, are in a prime position to not only win the division, but to make a run at a World Series title this season. They really are. And look, Rodriguez is going to cost basically nothing. I mean, he really is. We'll go back and add the screen here. With Rodriguez being a one-year rental, he can opt out after this season, most likely going to opt out. He's been stellar on the mound. I mean, look at his numbers this season. 2.95 ERA in 15 games, 91 Ks, and a 1.03 whip. He's been amazing this season. You're not trading any of these, top 6, maybe even top 7 guys in your organization for Eduardo Rodriguez, but your 8, your 9, your 10 are as good as any team's top 5 prospects. The Orioles just have that depth in their minor league system. And then why not go and get a Dylan Cease? I mean, we could pull up the trade values here. We could get that website's pretty laggy, so maybe not. But the Orioles need to make a move to get a legit starting pitcher. They need to have an ace at the top of the rotation they could put out there. When it comes to postseason baseball, when it comes to Game 1 of the ALDS or Game 1 of the ALCS or even Game 1 of the World Series, who are they going to put out there that they can count on to give you 6-7 innings of quality postseason baseball? Because right now they don't have that on the roster. The Rangers have been one of the most active teams in baseball over the last 2 seasons. They've just been a team that surprisingly and somehow, some way is continually able to add pieces to their team. You look 2 years ago, they signed Corey Seager, and then they signed Marcus Semien, or vice versa. They signed one and then the other immediately after. And then this offseason, they signed DeGrom, they signed Eovaldi, they signed Heaney. And then now they traded for Max Scherzer and Jordan Montgomery. How are they just able to continuously add this kind of pitching? Oh, I got to sneeze. My sneeze is not coming out, but look, they traded for Max Scherzer. They trade the number 44 prospect in baseball, Luis Angel Acuna, brother of Ronald Acuna Jr. And Scherzer, in 19 starts, he is not having the best season of his career by any means. A 4.01 ERA. His WAR is at a 1.9, 19 games, 121 strikeouts. But you look at his season numbers, he's not walking guys. He's walked 30 batters this season. He struck out 121. His ERA plus is at a 102. His FIP's at a 4.72, which is extremely high. But his WHIP is nice, 1.18. Strikeouts per 9 is at a 10.1. So look, he still has the qualities of Max Scherzer, of an elite starting pitcher. His ERA, his FIP, yeah, they're inflated. But him going to this Rangers team where they have a stellar offense and a defense behind them and a great pitching staff, Eovaldi, when he comes back from his injury, however long it takes, I know Garrett Cole has been an amazing pitcher this season, but I still think Eovaldi's, in my opinion, the favorite to win AL Cy Young. He has been incredible on the mound for the Texas Rangers. John Gray has been amazing on the mound for them as well. And then now you add Max Scherzer, who can start Game 1 or even Game 2 of a postseason series for you. And then you also add Jordan Montgomery, who is a certified innings eater and is going to really help this team. I mean, he's going to be able to go out there and give them quality starts and quality innings. A 3.42 ERA and 121 innings pitched, 108 strikeouts this season. With the Cardinals, he's walked 35 batters. His strikeouts per nine are an 8 strikeouts per nine. He gives up 8.6 hits per nine. His FIP 3.74, a 125 ERA plus. All of that in 121 innings pitched. He's given up 12 home runs this season. He's not going to give up, tons of home runs. Look throughout his career at his home run totals. Career ERA of a 3.77, and he's going to give you 178, 157. This season is already at 121 innings pitched. He's going to eat innings for this Rangers team, and this Rangers team is already an amazing team in the American League. They are the premier team next to the Astros or right behind the Astros in the American League in terms of having elite starting pitching, an elite offense, and then look, their bullpen's good too. They brought in Aroldis Chapman. We're still waiting on another big trade to happen here. Still waiting for it, but Jordan Adams got called up. That's pretty cool. So there's still a good amount of starting pitchers available. Dylan Cease, Flaherty, Rodriguez. Those are the big three. Does Snell get moved? Probably not. Cease, I don't think he's going to be moved either. So there's really two high-end starting pitchers left. Rodriguez is the best. Flaherty is kind of the backup plan at this point. What else are we going to discuss? We were talking about the Mariners. I was talking about Seattle and them making a move with the Minnesota Twins. Fix the hat here. The Twins. I'm going to share the screen again. Look, Seattle is having a very disappointing season offensively. Ty France has been he hasn't been like Ty France of last year. Is this the best trade package to get in return for Ty France? You're getting, let's pull up the Twins prospects here. You're not getting the greatest return for Ty France, but you're not expecting to get something incredible for Ty France. You're getting the number 6 prospect, Jose Salas, and you're getting the number 22, Ariel Castro. But both these guys are having very disappointing seasons. But then again, both of these guys, Salas is 20, and Castro, he's only 17 years old. Both of those guys are having disappointing years. But look, I think Ty France, if he was able to go to Minnesota for a team like the Twins that need a right-handed bat, that struggle against left-handed pitching this season, I think that'd be a great pickup. Now let's clear this here. This website is so laggy, dude. I can't even navigate it. I think the Mariners are an interesting team. They have some pieces to trade. They have Teoscar Hernandez. The offensive market, the market for hitters right now is kind of low. There's not tons of position players seemingly on the trade market. Let's pull up the Mariners here once it lets me navigate this thing correctly. All right. Seattle. Teoscar Hernandez is definitely, I definitely think he needs to get moved. I mean, he leads the Mariners in strikeouts, and he has like 15 or 18 home runs this season, but he's striking out at a higher rate. And there's going to be some teams out there that are going to want his services in the outfield, whether he's playing right field. You could even, if you want to run him out there at DH, you can. But there's going to be a contending team out here that's going to want his services in the lineup day in and day out, or at least in some sort of platoon role. You look at his numbers this season: 16 home runs, a 238 average, a 694 OPS, and struck out a grand total of 143 times this season. What teams could be out there trying to get Teoscar Hernandez? I mean, I don't know. We're gonna have to, look around here. I mean, a team that needs an outfielder, do the Yankees make a play for him? Do the Yankees say, look, we need an outfielder, let's get Teoscar Hernandez? I mean, this is already a Yankees offense that is struggling. They strike out a lot. They don't score a lot of runs. Do you really want to add to that in terms of strikeouts? Not really sure if you necessarily want to do that. The Braves could potentially add to their outfield. Like Acuna and Michael Harris already out there in center field and right field. But if you want to add a left fielder to go with Eddie Rosario, and I know Marcelo Ozuna has that DH role, but Rosario, you look at their outfield depth. Kevin Pillar is that fourth outfielder right now. Eddie Rosario is having in terms of these numbers right here, a very, very similar season to Teoscar Hernandez at the plate. Look at the strikeout numbers. He has struck out way less than Teoscar Hernandez, which isn't surprising at all. So I guess let's make a random trade here. Let's just do let's do Teoscar Hernandez to the Braves. We also got to continually check Twitter, see if any big time trades happen. Still waiting on Eduardo Rodriguez, potentially Blake Snell. Jeez, to get moved. All right, let's do Teoscar Hernandez going to the Braves. Dude, this website is so. I spelled his name wrong. Hernandez. There we go, right here. Teoscar Hernandez, his value is extremely low, which makes sense. The production you get from him, you're not trading much. Let's go look at some young Braves prospects down towards the bottom of their system that they could trade. The Braves don't even have the strongest system to begin with. I mean, look at all their guys are in low A rookie ball right now. Let's just find some random guy. I mean, we'll just look on here, find a guy with similar trade value. Maybe Ronald Acuna Jr. gets traded over. 1.4 million. Jesse Chavez. I don't know about that. I don't think that's the greatest move if you're the Mariners. Yeah, we're still waiting here for another move to happen. Who's this? Kevin Pillar. None of these trades really make that much. Let's trade this Smith guy, 24 years old, starting pitcher in the minors. Where is he at in their system? Not even in the top 30. So we will do this trade right here. Seems like a great trade here. This is a horrible. Why are this is really what I'm doing right now. Teoscar Hernandez trades. I just cleared the trade. Okay. Yep. All right. We are done with that. But there is an hour left of the deadline. A full hour left of the trade deadline. And there hasn't really been any moves in about an hour. Since Verlander got traded, there hasn't been another move. There has been crickets for the last hour. Yeah. What did we talk about now? Paul DeYoung to the Blue Jays. filling in for that Bo Bichette injury. But I guess the Bichette injury isn't even going to be that serious. I think that's what just happened. What they just said. Bichette shouldn't be out that long, but the Paul DeJong injury, nice depth. He's having a solid offensive season. 710 OPS, 96 WRC plus, 233 average, and 13 home runs. Yeah, so I'm like really just waiting for some major trade to happen. The Angels, though, they called up Jordan Adams. So that's really what we're concerned about right now. I really should have just not filmed that 45-minute podcast and just streamed it. But Jordan Adams, I think he was the 2019 first round pick of the Angels. Had a rough start to his minor league career. But this season in AAA has been amazing. 264 average. His OPS is an 816, 13 homers, and 107 strikeouts. The strikeouts have always been a problem for him, but look at that. 37 stolen bases, and he plays some incredible outfield defense. Just look at this catch right here. We'll play this on the stream and completely copyright the channel. I don't care. Just watch this Jordan Adams diving catch from July 22nd. When is another trade going to happen? All right. We just finally had a trade. So let's pull this up. Where is it at? Where's Jeff Passan? Where's Jeff Passan? Because the trade just happened. I have the notification on my phone, but where is it on Twitter? All right, right here. Boom. All right, so the Dodgers are getting Eduardo Rodriguez. I don't remember if I talked about it on this stream or on the 45-minute podcast that I recorded. That is not going to come out, but the Dodgers have traded for Eduardo Rodriguez. Oh, never mind. Okay, you have to read the whole tweet. So the Dodgers and Tigers had a trade in place for Eduardo Rodriguez, but Rodriguez said no, and the deal is now dead. This is a big blow for the Dodgers. The fact that they were out there, from what it seems like, they knew they needed to get a starting pitcher. Rodriguez, the best starter left on the market. Besides Cease, the best available starting pitcher left out there. They have a deal in place, and Eduardo Rodriguez, for whatever reason, shuts it down. So he doesn't want to be a Dodger. Maybe he doesn't even want to get traded. He only has 10 teams on his no-trade list. So there's still 20 or 19 other teams that you can trade with if you're the Tigers. But that is huge. See, I thought the Dodgers acquired him for a second. I didn't read the whole tweet. But Eduardo Rodriguez shuts down the trade to potentially join the Dodgers, help the Dodgers on a postseason push. This would have been a huge addition had Eduardo Rodriguez not shut down the trade. But he shuts it down. And now the Dodgers are probably going to have to pivot. They're going to have to go out there and pivot for another starter. Do they go after Jack Flaherty? Do they go after Dylan Cease? Look, if I'm the Dodgers right now, if I'm Andrew Friedman in that front office for the Dodgers, I am calling the White Sox right now, and I'm trying to get Dylan Cease and Tim Anderson in the same deal. Anderson is a free agent after the year. Cease has 2 or 3 years left of team control, which is very valuable if you're the Dodgers. And the Dodgers, with one of the top farm systems in the game, would be a big-time addition, not only for this season and this postseason run, but for the year after that and the year after that and however many years he has until he's an official free agent. So big-time move shut down by Eduardo Rodriguez. This was a trade I was saying earlier the Dodgers needed to make, but ultimately Eduardo Rodriguez says no. Surprising there. Yeah, I wonder why he would say no. Does he not? Is it because does he just not want to play with the Dodgers? Does he not want to leave Detroit? Does he want to? Is there a team that he sees better fit for winning a title? Why did Eduardo Rodriguez shut down this deal to go to the Dodgers? And this is a big time blow. If you're the Dodgers, this is a big time blow because this is a guy that you needed to add. You needed to add a top of the line starting pitcher. I know the Dodgers have Arias, and they're getting back Bueller, and they have Gonsolin and Kershaw and Bobby Miller. But look, they have tons of rookies in that rotation. Those guys are on innings limits. Bueller coming back from Tommy John. Kershaw's injured. Arias was injured. You needed to add a reliable starter. And Eduardo Rodriguez was supposed to be the guy. And now he's not going. He's not going there. So that was a very surprising move to see. Wow, he gave it a 7. A strong 7. That's actually a really good grade. Yeah. Okay, so they shut down the deal. Or Eduardo Rodriguez shut down the deal to the Dodgers. Very interesting to see. Like, does he even get moved now? Does Eduardo Rodriguez even get traded at this deadline, or does he stay in Detroit, opt out, maybe opt back in, or does he want to go elsewhere? Do the Tigers pivot to one of the teams that are not on his no trade list? What happens here if you're Eduardo Rodriguez, and what do the Dodgers do? I mean, what are they going to do now that Eduardo Rodriguez doesn't want to play for them? What starting pitcher are they going to go out there and get? Because you're not just going to try and get Eduardo Rodriguez, and then because he doesn't want to go there, you're just going to not get another. You're just going to stop. Like, they're going to go out there and get another starter. You'd think so. Yeah, that is big right there. The fact that he just declined that option or just vetoed that trade to go to a team that I think outside of the Braves in the National League, the Dodgers are the second best team in the National League. Second, and in terms of overall World Series contenders, I think it's Braves, it's Astros, and then Rangers, Dodgers. The Dodgers are either the third or fourth team in all of baseball, in my opinion, that's capable of contending and winning for a title this season. This trade would have really pushed them, in my opinion, closer to the Braves. And now, he shuts it down. So, look, we have an hour left of the deadline. Yeah, we have an hour left of the deadline. What happens now? Where do we go from here in terms of Rodriguez, in terms of the Dodgers? And there's still a good amount of players, top of the line players seemingly available. Seemingly available on the market. Rodriguez is one of them. Cease, Flaherty. What's going on in Seattle with Teoscar Hernandez, Ty France? Does Harrison Bader get moved? What are the Yankees going to do? The Yankees are an interesting one. I haven't talked about them yet. What are the Yankees going to do? This is a team that's 10 games back right now. Let's pull up the Yankees here. Let's pull up the standings. The Yankees, man, what are they going to do? Because if you're the Yankees, you can't just necessarily sell and give up on this season. You're the New York Yankees. That would basically be treason to do that, right? But they're 5 games over, 10 games back of the division, and they are 4.5 games back, 3.5 games back of a wild card spot right now. And this is a team that's struggling offensively. They have a very disappointing offense, even with Aaron Judge. This is an offense that is not going to compete for a title. And then you have to look at, if you're the Yankees, what moves do you make in the next hour that are going to improve your team and your offense to a World Series contender? And the simple answer is there's no moves the Yankees can make in the next hour that is going to take this team to the level of the Astros, of the Rangers, of the Orioles, of the Rays, um, of the Blue Jays. Like, there's no moves that are going to be made that are going to improve this team that much. There's just not. Look, Torres, could he be on the move? There was a report yesterday the Marlins are really trying to get Gleyber Torres. He's having a nice year, 741 OPS and 16 home runs. Do you move him? How many controllable years does he have left? I'm not sure. Rizzo, no team's going to want Rizzo. The production he's put up over the last month-ish has been horrible. Volpe, you're not trading Volpe, obviously. LeMahieu has been very horrible. Kind of for Lefa, you're not trading. You can't trade Stanton. Bader, maybe you move Harrison Bader. He's only played 57 games this season. You're not trading Judge, obviously. And you're probably going to have to trade from this bullpen. Like, the Yankees, they cannot buy. Like, there's no one they can buy that's going to improve this team because there's just not top-of-the-line offensive players on the market. If Cody Bellinger was available for trade, that is the guy that the Yankees would have needed to go out there and acquire. But the Yankees, I mean, they're just in a tough spot. I mean, you look at they could sell from this relieving from their relievers, maybe Clay Holmes, Michael King, Albert Breu, Wandy Peralta. They have some guys that you could potentially move from this pitching staff. Maybe even Domingo Germán. I think Severino's a free agent after the year, but his 7 ERA in 57 innings is just unmovable. Like, I mean, you could trade it, but you're going to be getting a very, very disappointing package. So, look, the Yankees 10 games back of the division. I think it's 3.5 back of the wild card. There's no moves that this team can make in the next 58 minutes that's going to improve them to the caliber of these teams in the American League that are ahead of them. And then they just don't have pieces that are attractive to another team that they could necessarily sell. Like, who are they selling on the offensive end or in the pitching rotation outside of their relievers that another team, that other clubs are going to pounce at and is going to improve the Yankees? Because if they trade some of these relievers, you're not getting guys that are going to help your team win this season. And the Yankees, they can't sell, they can't rebuild, they can't look towards 2024. So the Yankees are in a very, very tough spot, to say the least. Another team that I haven't talked about at all is the Padres. Along with the Mets, I think this is the second most disappointing team in baseball this season in terms of the Padres having, the second highest payroll entering the season behind the Mets, spending tons of money on this roster, bringing in Xander Bogaerts, paying Tatis, you traded for Soto, you paid Manny Machado this offseason, you paid Darvish, and then this team is just not performing. Look, 52-55 record, 4th in the NL West. They have some pieces they could sell. They have 2 pitchers, Blake Snell and Josh Hader, who, if they were to sell these guys right here, they would get a very nice return for those players. But it seems that they're just not going to move them. That's what it seems like. Yeah, there's an hour left of the deadline, but you haven't heard anything about Hader getting moved, and you haven't heard anything about Snell getting moved in the last 2 or 3 days. From what it sounds like, and what it seems like with the moves that the Padres have made today, they're not selling. They got Rich Hill and Ji-Man Choi from the Pirates earlier today. What are the Padres going to do? What are they going to do? We got to pull up the standings here again. So let's get rid of this Teoscar Hernandez page. Dude, I was really doing Teoscar Hernandez trades. That's down bad. That is horrible. So right now they sit 8.5 games out of the division. And in a very competitive NL wildcard race. What? Did I just click an ad? Pull up the wildcard race, dude. And in the National League wildcard race, they are 5 games back. So, I mean, look, they're 5 games back of a wildcard spot, but you have the Cubs, Brewers, D-backs, Marlins, Phillies, and Giants all competing for one of the 3 wildcard spots. I know the Padres have tons of talent, so you could say on paper, yeah, they're better than the Cubs. Maybe they have a better roster than the Brewers, but look, yeah, they have so much talent. That's the only thing. This Padres roster is filled top to bottom with talent. I mean, this rotation is very. Snell has been the best pitcher in the National League this season. Like, it's him and Marcus Stroman have been the 2 best pitchers in the NL this season. Hader is like the best potential reliever that could be available. And in this offense, I mean, Gary Sanchez has been nice for this team. Ha-Seong Kim has been incredible this season. Manny Machado, Tatis, and Soto have been, 2 of the best outfielders in the game. So they have so much talent. But it's the same story basically with the Padres as it was with the Mets. Very big time disappointment in terms of the payroll and the expectations that were set preseason opening day coming into this year, where we thought they should be, where we thought they would be, which is competing for a World Series. And they are now, I mean, the Mets are selling and the Padres appear to be staying put, moving forward with this roster. I mean, maybe they are confident that they can re-sign Josh Hader and Blake Snell in the offseason. But how many more guys how many more players are the Padres going to spend money on? Like they have their contracts tied up to Machado, to Tatis, to Bogarts, to Yu Darvish. You're going to tie up Blake Snell and Josh Hader. So the Padres, I mean, they need to make a move. I think they need to sell Hader and Snell. They're not going to make the postseason. I just don't see it happening based off of it's August 1st. And they're 5 games out of a wild card spot. Do we talk for another hour? I might just end it here. I honestly might just end it here because there's like not many trades left to happen, and my throat hurts. I've been talking for an hour, 30 minutes on here, and 45 minutes on a recording. So that's going to end it. I'm just going to end it here. Follow the TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to the YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. I'll be back with another podcast. MFL football is around the corner. I'll talk some of that soon on a new episode of the franchise soon. So we're going to end the broadcast here. Follow those other platforms. Follow the Twitter. Stay updated. See you later.